Hello, this is the first episode of Best Raw Ever. We're going to recap Raw from the other night. I'm D-Lo Frown. I'm here with...
I'm Lanel.
We're going to go through match by match and we're going to try and recap the best we can. So, Raw has been fucking crazy lately.
Yes.
The booking is all over the place.
It's garbage.
I don't know if Vince McMahon is just going senile.
He's just being McMahon.
He's just being McMahon at this point. I don't know. They've really dropped the ball here on this card several times. It had all the makings of a great show, but they lost it. They lost it quick. The show started off with Neville from NXT fighting Daniel Bryan. Now, I will say this for Neville: it's about time we had this underdog kind of character in WWE. Someone talented, a little bit shorter than the rest.
Hairy,
quick. He's really an amazing competitor, and I'm glad that we have that kind of underdog character now, which before we didn't.
this is definitely a first.
And I'll give props to Vince McMahon on his genius idea of this underdog character. Neville came out and he shit all over Daniel Bryan.
Literally.
He literally just shit onto his face, which was amazing. It's amazing what they can get away with on the PG era. I did notice that although he did shit on his face, the announcers never talked about it.
No, they didn't.
See, so that's where they become hypocrites. They're allowed to do it, but the announcers won't. They won't say that it's going on.
Right.
But everybody saw it. Neville won, of course. He beat Daniel Bryan.
With
We could have seen that coming. And he beat him with the flippity woo, his finishing move that he was developing at NXT. It was kind of like the Red Arrow, but he does 25 flips before he hits the ground. And what did JBL call him?
underdog.
He called him underdog, and they also called him the underdog tiny man that defies gravity and beats giants.
Yes.
And I saw that today that there's some people in the audience rocking that shirt. Mm-hmm. So the kids are loving it, and
Well, it's supposed to be what, Mighty Mouse?
Well, he's put in the time, so he's getting what he deserves, and it was great just to watch. Finally an underdog character just beat the fuck out of Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Then as that was the opening segment. For once, we started with a match, but then as per usual, the talking segments have to begin. So. Cut to commercial. We come back. Seth Rollins is in the ring with J&B Security, BJ Security, and Seth Rollins is stuffing his mouth with chestnuts.
Yes.
He's hoarding them in his cheeks like a rodent, like a squirrel. What are some other like a gerbil?
Yes.
Would you say it's like a gerbil or like a hamster?
I'd say like a gerbil.
Like a gerbil. What about like a guinea pig?
Maybe.
He's stuffing these chestnuts in his mouth, and J&J Security are telling him, "No, you can't do that. You think of what the authority will think." And I'm like, at this point, why are we still hearing about the fucking authority?
Yeah.
Why are we still hearing about what they'll think?
Seth
It's a freaking
Rollins
joke.
He was really selling it, though. Very wild look in his eye. I think he might have actually lost it. He was crazy looking.
Well, what came after is a bunch of people that weren't scheduled to be on the card. They come out and they wanted the chestnuts. And Rollins, Rollins is the world fucking champion. If you want to earn your right to deal with the champ, that's got to happen in the ring. You don't just come out. These are old wrestling laws.
You don't just try to steal someone's chestnuts. You don't do that.
This is the most. There are ways to go about this and tell a proper story. You don't just take all your roster, throw them out there, and have them chase Rollins in the back for the whole fucking card, trying to get the chestnuts out of his mouth. You don't do that. And fucking JMB security, where were they?
I don't know. I think I saw him jerking off.
Well, that's a bad joke. But, you know, J&J security, they just seemingly disappeared. I don't understand what the fucking writing here.
What purpose do they even serve, though, really?
And Rollins is he's great on mic. Mm-hmm. He's fucking good. He gets to the point, he hammers everything in perfectly. So why would you stuff his mouth full of chestnuts? The guy, he can't even cut a promo.
No, he can't.
So you have your talking segment, and there's no talking. Just BJ Security saying, don't do it. And then the other wrestlers come out. They say, we want those chestnuts. And then they chase them throughout the whole fucking show. We cut to the back, seeing them chase Seth Rollins around, trying to pry the things out of his mouth. He squirms out, and he always freaking gets away. I mean, I'm a Seth Rollins fan. Whatever he does is gold to me. I thought, part of this was a great idea, but the idea where the other wrestlers can just come out and try to take them from him without having to do this preliminary kind of match and earn it, it fell flat to me. And I thought, it was a missed opportunity for something better.
McMahon's really lost his mind, and I think it was, yes, definitely a waste of Rollins' talent.
Well, speaking of a waste of people on the card, the next match was Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane triple threat match. Now, these guys have been there for like fucking 40 years. All right? We get it. You're all big. You're all huge. You're all old.
Fat.
It doesn't make you more vicious. It just bores us. And I've never seen anything like it before. Half the audience was asleep. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even realize that I changed the channel. I didn't see how this match ended. How about you?
I might have fallen asleep myself.
And like some kind of vital human function I've never known about. Like, I flipped the channel back just in time as they were all unconscious in the ring. So
yes,
we'll never know who won that one. Big Show,
though?
Mark Henry, and Kane. And is it just me, or does Mark Henry get about an inch shorter every time he comes back? If you look in the past 5 years, he's probably about 5 inches shorter.
Mm-hmm. That's
that I don't understand.
What is it? Osteoporosis. Is that what it is? It makes you shorter.
That's what he do, evidently. All right, and Kane, they did the businessman angle, and
I'm over it.
Now he's a district attorney.
Yes, Kane, district attorney.
He's bringing his clients along, getting them front row seats.
Yes, it's not fair to the other audience members there.
It's just unprofessional. I mean, I know Kane's been there a while, but this does not serve his character. What happened to the man behind the mask? What happened to Kane?
Now he's the man behind the gavel. So.
Fucking stupid. And Big Show, same shit from Big Show. He came out as a face. Mm-hmm. He left as a heel. But then he did that thing when he was going back up the ramp. He turned around below the Titantron, and he turned around, looked at the fans, and he said, "Or am I?"
He did.
Or am I? What is it? All right. So are you heel or are you a face? That's two potential turns in one match.
I think creative is just getting incredibly lazy. I don't think there's even a creative anymore. I think the wrestlers are just making this shit up. That and Big Show really needs to work on his leg muscles.
You think so?
Yes, he's got chicken legs.
Very top heavy.
Mm-hmm. It looks bad.
Well, the next segment was pretty strange as well. This I liked. Bray Wyatt last year they took away his Wyatt family.
Yes.
Stupid decision.
Yes.
He was on the top of his game, and then he had maybe 2 years of jobbing ever since he lost to Cena at WrestleMania.
Right.
2 years of jobbing. He jobbed out to Taker. He's jobbed out to Cena.
Mm-hmm.
He's jobbed out to Taker. It seems like the guy's never in a fucking match. He's only in promos, and
He's
then
summoning ghosts.
yeah, he loses about he loses a couple times a year because every week he's just in these vignettes. So, but this week they did something good with him. This week, Bray Wyatt got a new family. Finally.
Yes.
Finally, he's recruited a new family. His family is the New Day.
Yes.
Kofi Kingston, Big E, the Christian, the
Very interesting.
Baptist, the Southern Baptist
I guess so.
Christians. This was an interesting move on WWE's part.
Mm-hmm.
The New Day, they just kind of accepted when Bray Wyatt came to the ring. They stood there in almost awe, and they kind of just made a formation around him.
Well, Bray probably used his magical powers.
Are you?
His
It's something they've insinuated, but they never really said what kind of powers Bray Wyatt actually has.
some kind of mental powers. For
Like a mind control,
Yes.
a telekinesis, a telepathy.
telepathy.
I've seen that he has They've insinuated he could do teleportation skills.
He has summoned ghosts.
Did he summon the ghost, or was he the ghost? Because I remember him jumping through a ghost, and then the
Yes.
ghost was gone.
I think he summoned the ghost as a distraction. After he jumped through the ghost, it did not serve his purpose anymore, so it went away. So, yes.
Who was the ghost? Was that Annabella, the wheelchair that he used to bring out?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I believe it was.
Christ. Anyway, this was interesting. The New Day form around him that and I'm just gonna say it right now. They can stop pretending that Kofi Kingston is the same Kofi Kingston. We all know it's a
Yes.
new guy playing Kofi.
We're not fooled.
Kofi Kingston, the original guy, he had a Jamaican accent and he wore shorts. Then he was gone for a couple months and he comes back, no accent, no pants. You're not fooling us, Oh, no, he had pants. He had long pants.
Yes, they weren't shorts.
Christ. Vince, who are you fooling? They did this with Diesel. They did it with Razor Ramon after they left the company. They brought in lookalikes.
We're not stupid, okay?
This Kofi guy, that's not the original Kofi Kingston.
What is his name? What is his real name?
It's probably some Ring of Honor reject. He's probably working for fucking breadcrumbs. They're probably giving him croutons. He probably doesn't even get to eat from catering. He's got to go out and get his own food
That's
and
fucked
eat
up.
it there before he comes back. But
I digress.
the rest of New Day is good. And they form around Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt's saying that the New Day has finally come together. There will be a new day, and it'll be the last day. It'll be just like the last day and the last time. So this has happened in other realities, is what he was insinuating.
Yes.
Now he's talking about parallel universes, other realities, transhuman pasts, distant futures of sameness. I didn't understand most of it, but it's like his usual promos. This is where I thought this was strange. Harper and Rowan come out,
Yes.
and they've been kind of feuding on and off. Harper and Rowan, they come out and they're mad. They're walking down the steps. Immediately, New Day, they line up against the ringside looking towards the Jumbotron.
Yes.
And the lights dim around them. You could see their eyes illuminate as they roll into the backs of their heads. And Harper and Rowan, they stop dead in their tracks, and you
Yeah.
could see, like, slowly their arms start to shake.
There
And
was also a little bit of smoke, some backwards clapping.
I didn't understand the backwards clapping. I think that's a New Day thing. How do you backwards clap? I mean, I know I heard it. It sounded like,
But backwards.
which is, I mean, it was similar. It was a similar noise, but the announcer said it was backwards. So I don't know how to call it.
It was very eerie.
It was eerie. It was strange. And New Day, when their eyes rolled back into their heads, Harper and Rowan, they started convulsing and they fell flat onto the ramp, and they looked like they got hit with something.
I believe Rowan's Rubik's Cube exploded. I believe I saw that.
I did see that, and you know what? He's fucking good at selling that shit, because I saw. Did you see the single tear from his eye?
Yes, I did.
While he was shaking on the ground.
Yes.
And then we don't see what happens. Bray Wyatt's got that big smile on his face.
Yep.
And he puts his arm around Big E and the other black guy, and he's smiling. He's like, "Ha, we got him now, boys." And it was a good segment. It was edgy. It's something that they don't really do nowadays, and I liked it.
I can't wait to see how it develops.
Well,
Yes.
that's the thing. Will it develop? They tend to do like one adultish thing just to suck people in every couple months, and then you see that it goes nowhere. So
Yeah.
where's this gonna go?
Who knows? Hopefully somewhere.
Yikes. Then we we see a very interesting match. The Bella Twin Inferno match with the Ring of Fire around the ring after we come back from the commercial break. What did you think of the Bella Twins in this capacity?
I liked. The Divas don't really do anything that's too dangerous. So it was nice to see the potential for, I don't know, third-degree burns.
And I believe we saw a couple in the
We
match.
did.
Normally, Inferno matches have all involved Kane, because he wears these he's always had these full body kind of suits and
Yes.
stuff, and they can make him flame retardant. But in the case of the Bella Twins, and this really surprised me, I know they did the full face in the fire bit.
Oh, yes.
Brie held Nikki's face in the fire, and you know why they did that too.
Why?
Because Brie spent all that money fixing her nose, so her face wasn't about to go in any fire.
No.
Nikki's got a lot to prove. She probably offered that up, saying, "I'm boobs, your looks.
I think
You
breasts,
can put my face in the fire."
her breasts are flame retardant anyway, so.
I don't think so. I think they pop if they get too close to the heat,
Oh, okay.
to the extreme heat. It changes the size and the shape. They change with weather.
Okay. Pressure issues.
Yes.
Okay.
But the match was fucking crazy. Brie swung with that clothesline from hell, knocked fucking Nikki for a loop, and she fell head first into the fire.
I don't think they knew to avoid the fire. I mean, it made for a good match, but it seemed like maybe they were confused about that.
Like maybe they thought it was fake fire.
Yeah.
You gotta think that they knew, but maybe they didn't know what they were signing up for with that one. But they put on a hell of it might be the best Inferno match I've ever fucking seen.
And I want to give props to the cameraman because he didn't you saw everything. You could see Nikki's latex outfit melting into her flesh, face.
Oh, like the burning and
Yes.
stuff? Christ, yeah, you can see scarring, instant pussing and boiling around where their clothes were.
It was
were
really
charred.
intense.
Well,
People were throwing up. It was.
It's they look like I just wonder what it smelled like in that arena.
I don't know.
It probably smelled bad,
Probably.
like perfumes,
Yeah.
like the Bella's perfumes,
Burnt hair.
and singed everything.
Yeah.
But I gotta give it to him. This was the One of the better matches on the card.
Yes, definitely.
Bella Twin Inferno match. If you didn't see it now, because you will never think of the Bella Twins in the same way again.
You definitely won't fap to them.
Or you might do it even more, okay? It was at this point in the crowd, or in the show, sorry, they caught Seth Rollins.
Yes.
He was backstage. He was diving into locker rooms. Mm-hmm. The whole thing looked like something out of Monty Python or something.
Yes, it was a bit ridiculous.
But I kind of like this. They all jumped on him like a big human pile. Mm-hmm. And when they got up, he was gone.
Yes.
And then they cut to outside where he was getting into the back of a limousine. And I don't want to speculate who was driving the limousine. That was for the announcers to do. But if I had to speculate, I would think that the guy driving the limousine was Sheamus.
Why Sheamus?
I'm just speculating.
Just speculating?
Who do you think?
I'm gonna say.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of someone we haven't seen drive a car yet, and Sheamus would be prime for driving the limousine.
Yes.
Shortlist: Sheamus, Barrett.
I have no idea.
R-Truth.
R-Truth.
Who do you can speculate?
I don't really know. Undertaker.
Undertaker?
Yeah.
Driving the limousine.
Yes.
That's a fucking paycheck, I'll tell you. Anyway, Seth Rollins, he escaped. He had the chestnuts in his mouth.
Still.
As far as we know, he didn't even spill one.
Nope.
J&J Security, nowhere to be seen. But you know what? He escapes, but we don't get to see the champion for the rest of the show, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yes, stupid.
Speaking of not making sense, we come back to the second to the last match. Stephanie McMahon.
Oh,
This
yes.
is where the fucking ego trip gets insane.
God tier.
Stephanie McMahon recently challenged by Dana White to see if WWE is better than Ultimate Fighting Championship. She accepts a gauntlet match. Stephanie McMahon versus Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, and CM Punk. And the fans, especially the younger fans and the women, they were really in Stephanie McMahon's corner on this one. She was all dressed up. She had her wrestling gear on, and there you go. You thought this was too good to be true? It was fucking right on screen. Lesnar, Rousey, and CM Punk all there in the ring.
Yes.
No one thought we'd see CM Punk back in the WWE, and Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. I mean, the Dana White, or president of UFC, said that she would never compete for WWE after that WrestleMania.
And here she is.
And here she is, and they're tagging, and Stephanie McMahon is fucking demolishing all of them.
Well, I mean, demolishing tentatively.
Tentatively.
Yes.
No. That was an execution.
With her tits.
It didn't make any fucking sense. Stephanie McMahon toppling Brock Lesnar with the Luthez press, punching him in the face over and over again, and CM Punk and Ronda Rousey having to pull him underneath the ropes to get him out of there. That is like it's so insulting.
Stephanie looked possessed.
I mean, she was selling it like, she thought she was a fucking god out there. And then for some reason, you get, for good measure, Triple H is out there, and he's freaking attacking Sting, who, as far as we know, was just a spectator in the crowd. He was at ringside.
I believe he was just there to see the show, yes.
And Triple H was out there, and he was beating his ass. He jumped over the barricade and starts pounding the guy down.
Unprovoked.
Sting's, 56 years old? Triple H, 47?
Yes.
Triple H, he's a big guy. He can't be freaking, he's annihilating this guy outside the ring. Stephanie McMahon, she's fucking beating CM Punk. Mm-hmm. She hit CM Punk with the go to sleep.
CM Punk also said he would never wrestle again.
He said he would never wrestle again.
And here's Ronda Rousey and CM Punk.
There they are, and they're losing to Stephanie
Losing.
McMahon because that's the WWE booking.
Insanity.
They just want to give themselves accolade after accolade.
They're the best.
Obviously. And what can we say about that one? No surprise, Stephanie McMahon wins.
Yes. Triple H, I guess, wins out in the crowd. I mean, he wasn't even...
We don't even, the camera just stops following Triple H. It's not even something like they're showing. It's something you can just see happening in the background.
Yes.
And fucking Stephanie McMahon makes Ronda Rousey tap out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To what? The ankle lock?
Yes. It was a bit... It was crazy.
Well... And then we go to another segment, and this was very strange. Another eerie McMahon booking. Spike Dudley. Do you remember Spike Dudley from the early
I do.
Early 2000s? He was the scrawny Dudley boy. Mm-hmm. He makes a surprise return backstage.
Yes.
We see Vince McMahon in the hallway. We see Spike Dudley running up to him frantically. Being chased by security guards, and Vince McMahon, and he's shouting, Vince! Vince! And Vince turns around, he looks startled, he's like, who the fuck is this guy? And security, they catch up to Spike Dudley just when Spike Dudley gets to Vince. And he's like, Vince! And Vince McMahon, he goes, security's trying to drag him back, and Vince is like, no. He puts out his hand like a halt. He's like, no, let him speak. Let him speak. And and then fucking Spike Dudley, he dusts himself off, and he's fucking bleeding from his wrists.
Yes.
Blood everywhere. Mm-hmm. The guy fucking slit his wrist, and he said, why have you forgotten about us? Why have you forgotten us?
It was sad.
It was sad. And Vince just went, forgotten who? And Spike Dudley, he was trying to compose himself. He was bleeding. Security insists to drag him up. He says, why have you forgotten about us?
Yes.
And Vince again, forgotten who? Who? And then they finally pull him off. They're like, take him away, And then Vince McMahon, he looks towards the camera and he goes, who? Forgotten who? And he just starts self-pondering. I didn't understand that. Well,
that was crazy.
We immediately cut to our main event.
Yes.
We got Reigns, Cena, and Randy Orton. This is another three-way tag team match main event.
They're all about the three-ways.
All about three-way tags.
Lately.
Versus the fucking super push of the year, the Los Matadors and Zack Ryder.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't know when Vince McMahon decided to get his heart on for fucking the Los Matadors, but fucking he dropped the Reigns push. Cena's, playing coy in the mid card, but
yes.
The Orton push was dropped. Los Matadors have fucking skyrocketed. They're just throwing every freaking accolade they can at the Los Matadors, and even Zack Ryder. Los Matadors, when they come out with this new look, I guess the midget there, what was his name? El Patty?
Something.
El Patty Loco, he died, and what they do is they carry like a boar's head, and he was a boar,
mm-hmm.
right? They carry a boar's head out in his honor, and the other Los Matador, I think his name was S.A. Rios, he He had a barbed wire. He came out with a freaking barbed wire bat.
Yes.
And he was licking the barbed wire, the barbs, and cutting his tongue. And I guess it's like one of those things, if they don't talk about it, it's like it never happened.
Right. I guess it's for the blind people. They don't want to alarm them.
That's how they get rid of this stuff on PG. So, Lost Matadors, licking fucking barbed wire, bleeding from the tongue. They come out, they're freaking seething.
Yes.
They're eyeing up Reigns, Cena, Orton. Zack Ryder's out there, that he's being like a fucking cocky prick as usual.
Yes. Reigns, Cena, and Orton looked a little scared and maybe confused about.
They looked bored. They looked they just looked pissed off, but not like from a kayfabe standpoint. Just generally, like, why are we being used like this? Reigns. This was an elimination tag match.
Yes.
Reigns went out first.
He did.
To Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder got him with some kind of move. I think it was a over the shoulder dumbbell, and Reigns just went out for the pin. And then it doesn't take any time before Ryder eliminates Randy Orton.
Yes.
So Zack Ryder eliminates Reigns and Randy Orton. He fucking bloodied Randy Orton's face. He fucking stiffed him numerous times. Orton, even at one point, he looked at the timekeeper and he's like, "You seeing this shit? What the fuck is going on in here?" And they were bleeping it out, but I can read lips, so I mean that's what he was saying.
Right.
And Zack Ryder. I do not understand the Zack Ryder push. They're obviously trying to make him the next top babyface.
Yes.
For like, is this what we're gonna get? 10 years of Zack Ryder? The guy can't cut a promo. He comes out and he goes, "Woo woo woo, you know it," and then he stiffs people and he's injuring people left and right.
Yes.
And they're putting him in that top slot. The guy cannot draw. He cannot draw a crowd. He doesn't sell shirts. But no, at the end of the day, it's we got him. You gotta fold to Zack Ryder. You gotta make Zack Ryder look strong. Gotta make him look strong. He beats fucking Reigns. He beats Orton, and then he tags on the Lost Matadors. It's 3 against Cena.
Yes.
Cena goes for his comeback. He gets his ass beat. Does his last minute comeback, and you know what happens? He does the "you can't see me"
Yes.
and fucking disappears.
We literally couldn't see him.
And then the announcement that came right after, like Lost Matadors are looking around, Zack Ryder's looking around. There was a flicker of the lights, and John Cena is gone after doing that hand gesture.
Yes.
And then Michael Cole, he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I have something to say. John Cena just retired."
McMahon has lost his mind.
I mean, or something close. Did he ever fucking have a mind with booking like this?
I don't know.
He's got 20 writers and they can't come up with something better than that? A better send-off for Cena? It happens on a fucking Raw in a match against Lost Matadors and Zack Ryder?
Yes.
He's the last man standing. He can't at least... I mean, I'm not a Cena fan. He's been dictating every trend in wrestling for the past 10 years, but...
He deserves a better send-off than that because he has been wrestling for so long and they just dim the lights.
It was barely dim. It was a flicker.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Yep.
Lost Matadors, they stand around looking confused. Zack Ryder is in the ring, and they're celebrating. And then they say, "So winner by failure to compete is Lost Matadors and Zack Ryder," and they win another match, and they retired freaking John Cena. If this is where they're bringing the company, I can't see me watching this in months from now, maybe even weeks from now. I mean, I'm gonna tune in next week. I gotta see what they're gonna try.
Yes. It's I'm just not. I'm really not surprised. I'm more disappointed.
And the fact that they let Los Matadors do whatever the fuck they want in the ring with that barbed wire bat,
Yes.
like maiming other wrestlers. You can see the flesh tear from fucking what do you call these?
The biceps.
The biceps. You can see the flesh tear from Roman Reigns' biceps when they hit him on the frickin' on the biceps.
This was probably one of the most gruesome Raws I've ever seen.
And Randy Orton went. He goes for his RKO, and the Los Matador guy says no, RKO, RKO, like I'm RKU, and he does the RKO to Randy Orton.
Randy.
Is it Randy or Randy? Is it Randy or Randy? Is it Randy or Randy?
I think it's Randy. Randy.
Is it Randy Orton? He gets the RKO.
He does.
He gets RKO'd, eliminated.
Yes.
And Los Matadors, Zack Ryder win it because fucking John Cena disappears in the ring. You can't see me. Announcement, Michael, John Cena has retired.
We can't see him.
Now it looks like we won't see him. This could just be like,
A farce, but it seemed legitimate.
it seemed, yeah. Well executed. What was it?
Yes.
I'm sure maybe it was, they thought that they did a great job. But, no, we got Los Matadors, Zack Ryder, future of the fucking WWE. I mean, good for Los Matadors. They find a way to step up their game, and they're getting a lot of leeway to do a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of people, but... And Zack Ryder, he doesn't even look like he cares. He's just stiffing people left and right.
Yes.
As long as, you make them look strong, you gotta take those hits from Zack Ryder.
It's crazy.
He broke fucking Bo Dallas's nose.
He did.
He gave Ryback a concussion. And he's put fucking both the Lucha Dragons out of commission.
Yep.
What was he hitting them with? The sander?
Yes.
The wood sander to the face? What was the...
He bit a chunk out of Ambrose's arm. I mean, he was literally... He doesn't care. He's either crazy or he just doesn't care.
Oh, that was Raw. So, are you going to hear from us next week? I don't know. Maybe not. We gotta... As a fan standpoint, I can't say I can totally get behind this show, but, if anything's going to make me tune in next week, it's Bray Wyatt and the New Day. And bringing his new dawn to the WWE. And let's hope that he does that.
Yes.
Alright, this was D'Lo Frown and
Lionel?
we are signing off.